Let's talk now to Dr. Tony Agbons, a researcher, senior lecturer at the Anglia Ruskin University. He joins us virtually from London. Good morning to you, Doc. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, good morning, Ladi. It's my pleasure to be here this morning.
Thank you. Let's begin with what we have on ground and what we've been reporting. New Prime Minister in the saddle, but same old problems, it would appear. Did it come to you as a surprise, first of all, that she completely eviscerated all of Rishi Sunak's backers, those who were in the cabinet, those who were in the government? She's removed every single person and replaced them all with her loyalists. Yet she's talking about unifying the party. Already there has been comment on that within the media space. What's your view on this?
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, as a UK citizen, let me congratulate our new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, for getting this converted position. After a long-drawn campaign within the Conservative Party. To be honest, I'm not really surprised that she got it. There have been a lot of opinion polls. For those of us who live in the UK, most of the members of the Conservative Party who actually made this choice, because of the kind of democracy we practice here, actually were rooting for Liz Truss. We saw this coming, and it has actually happened. Then going to the appointment that have been made so far, I think here in the UK, with the parliamentary system, it often happens like this, but not at this scale that it has happened. Some of the ministers under former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, they resigned. A couple of them resigned. And even those that didn't resign, they actually knew that they were going to be swept off. I think with the kind of democracy we practice here, this new Prime Minister, Liz Mary Truss, she would just want to start on a clean bill, and which for keen observers like myself and some others is the best thing to do. But most of those who have resigned and those who have, been removed from office as secretaries of state, the one we often refer to as ministers in Nigeria, a couple of them have pledged allegiance. They said they will support her from the backbench. But the magnitude of that support is something we will see in the days to come.
Let's look at what is the existential in-trade that she faces, the cost of living crisis. Already the reports had it that she had indicated even before she took office that within a week she would come up with a detailed plan. Some more of the details of that plan are now, I don't know whether to use the word, leaking out before the formal pronouncement. Amongst the provisions are that there will be a cap on the energy bills that British citizens like yourself would receive, which from the figures we have will not exceed £2,500 by the end of the year. Now, how she's going to do this includes putting some kind of guarantee down for the power supply companies, the power providers, and all of that to make up whatever the difference is. And we do have some doubt as to whether or not Britain can afford this at this time, because already there's also a fiscal position that she's coming in to face following COVID-19. How is this news being received on her, shall we call it, second day on the job?
Yes. Yesterday, she made the traditional number 10 Downing Street speech, and we all listened to her, and the entire UK media all through yesterday, deep into the night, a lot of experts, economists, political commentators, everybody was analyzing every line of her speech yesterday. And let me just put this in context. She has come in, like in that speech, she actually talked about three major things. But I'll come to your question, Ladi. She talked about cutting taxes. At the moment, the last chancellor, raised taxes, and a lot of people are reeling under that heavy yoke. So she said she will cut taxes immediately. She said she's going to deal with the energy crisis, which you have mentioned, and she's going to put our National Health Service, which is the NHS, on a firm footing. There have been issues around that in the last couple of months. Okay, so these are the three key issues that she said she's going to address immediately. But going straight to your question with regards to the energy crisis, I think her speech yesterday was quite comforting to many of us and to many UK citizens. And she has said, because when you look at the UK, by next month, October, a lot of the fixed and capped energy price is set to increase, astronomically. So I think, this is just my thought, I think that what she's going to do is to make sure that that cap remains as it is now. Probably it will even go down, because when you look at the other side of the economics, the energy companies are actually making too much profit. So although their defense is that this profit they are making, they are going to use it to invest for the future. But that the argument is not, it's not really flying through. People are not happy, and that is putting a lot of pressure on the government. So I think that the Liz Truss premiership will actually address this energy crisis. Otherwise, it is not going to bode well for her government. But for a new premiership, you need to get the people on your side. You need to get the people, firing with you on the same page. And that is precisely what I think she's going to do. So we are just looking, and we are all watching and seeing what the next couple of days will bring up. I really like the specific deadline. She said she's going to address it this week. So that, for many of us, is very reassuring.
She is an unapologetic loyalist of Boris Johnson. She remained with him right up until the very, very end. And even in the speech that you referenced, she had very kind words for Boris Johnson. Now, one of the key programs that Boris Johnson came to be known for during his premiership was the up front and center support for Ukraine. And already, even before she spoke to some of the more traditional leaders that one would have expected that following her victory she would speak to, like the US president, the French president, the German chancellor, and so on. Her first foreign leader telephone call was with Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine to reassure him that Britain would continue to support Ukraine in the war, which is, of course, what has led to the energy crisis that she is faced with in Britain. So some are already pointing out that is this not two objectives that cross purposes with each other? For as long as the crisis continues and Ukraine is able to defend itself and Russia continues its invasion, the energy costs will not come down. And yet that is what she needs to bring down to be able to, as you put it, get the people on her side so that the cost of living does not rise beyond their reach.
Yes. There was this feeling of what would be Liz Truss' approach to the Ukraine crisis. She has been the foreign secretary, and I think she understands all the inner workings of all that has been taking place since this crisis began in February, talking about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So that, I think Zelensky was even the first, like you said, was the first world leader that she spoke to. So that is an indication of what is to come. And the UK, working with other allies like the United States, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, the European Union, is really going to back Ukraine. And you will see that with the way the the war is going, there really seems to be no end in sight. So her immediate support with the way she has made it very publicly, with the assurance she has given to the Ukrainian president and the Ukrainian people, this will also send a message to Russia that the support from the United Kingdom and other allies is going to continue. And you already see that the Russian response to Liz Truss support for the Ukrainian people has been also very swift. And Russia have said that what Liz Truss have said yesterday, they are not surprised that Liz Truss has, in her capacity as Foreign Secretary of the UK, has said worse things. So we see how everything pans out in the days to come, actually. But I think we are not going to see a major difference from what Boris Johnson, the former Prime Minister, was doing and what Liz Truss will do in her premiership with regards to this Russia-Ukraine crisis. It's going to be more of the same, or it may even be at a higher tempo.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons, for your time this morning on the program. Dr. Agbons joins us virtually from the British capital, London. Thank you.
Thank you, Ladi. Have a great day.